Okay, so this is video 6 looking at dissociative disorders and the category of somatoform disorders. So right now we're looking at the first one we're going to look at, remember all the different classifications of the different disorders in the DSM-5. This video is specifically going to talk about dissociative disorders, which is the 8th section, and somatoform symptom-related disorders. So two different categories. So the first one, dissociative disorders. Dissociative disorders is a disorder in which your conscious awareness becomes separated or dissociated from previous memories, thoughts, and feelings. Dissociative disorders are a group of pathologies involving a fragmentation of the personality in which some parts of the personality have become detached from other parts. So you begin to separate your memory from your conscious awareness or your identity. And it's similar to a defense mechanism. It's a disorder in which you use so much of your life can be separated. So you forget, it could be a part of, you forget a situation, or you develop a new personality because you maybe potentially forget your old self. So there's different types of dissociative disorders. There's dissociative amnesia, depersonalization disorder, dissociative fatigue, and then dissociative identity disorder. And the ones that are bolded are the ones that we're going to specifically look at in this class. So dissociative amnesia is a psychologically induced loss of memory for personal information, like one's identity. And it's usually the result of a stressful situation, and it's often connected with post-traumatic stress disorder. So it's inability to remember the past experiences. So amnesia, because of maybe a trauma, you essentially forget a specific situation or specific memory, and it often is connected with having some sort of trauma happen to you. Dissociative fatigue is a combination of fatigue and flight or amnesia, and it not only suffer from a loss of a sense of identity. Oftentimes something traumatic may happen to them, and they flee their homes, jobs, or families, and they essentially forget who they are. So it's kind of like they're running from a stressful situation, and it's a defense that your memory uses in order to block out maybe or repress those memories. So there's been cases where individuals have been found in different towns or neighborhoods, and they don't understand their own identity. Heavy use of alcohol may predispose a person to have this disorder, dissociative fatigue, while those suggest that some brain impairment may be involved. There's no specific cause of this disorder. And then the last one of this category that we're going to take a look at is dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder, once called multiple personality disorders, is a disorder where an individual displays multiple identities or personalities. They speak, act, write in different ways. Different personalities may have different impulses and memories. So experts say this disorder appears first in childhood and may be a defense in response to an abusive situation. Herschel Walker is a pro football player that was diagnosed with dissociative identity disorder. So something traumatic happened to you, and so you formulate or create another identity to help you kind of escape from that trauma is what they believe occurs. So important cases, kind of what I talked about, is Herschel Walker. He was a former football player. Sybil was a book that was written, and she worked with Shirley Mason, who was the psychologist who believed that she had multiple personality disorders. Many people question the truth of this disorder, and this is what we're going to look at in class. Is this an actual disorder? Is there enough evidence that proves this disorder occurs? The cause and development of the different disorders. A lot of them are connected to the psychoanalytic approach, which they believe it's a massive repression of unwanted impulses and creates a new personality to act out, or creates a way for the individual to feel safe if it's not DID. Behaviorists state that everyone is capable of acting in different ways in different situations, and this disorder is an extreme variation of acting so different that you feel like a different person or a different identity. it's often strengthened by a reward, they believe. So the cause could be because of traumatic event, an emotional abuse, or physical abuse, as a lot of the times that dissociative disorders occur. The other one that we're going to look at in this category is somatic symptoms. So somatic category, it's a different category, and this one deals with the body. So somatoform disorders characterized by physical symptoms that seem to have a physical disorder, yet they have no physical causes or evidence that suggests it could be linked to a psychological disorder. So there's three different areas or three different types of somatoform disorders we're going to specifically look at: conversion disorder, hypochondriacs, and body dysmorphic disorder. So the first one is conversion disorder. This is a disorder marked by a paralysis, a weakness, or a loss of sensation in a part of the body, but there's no discernible physical cause. There's no reason for an individual to have a pain in the shoulder. When they look at the x-rays or the MRIs, the CAT scans, there's no pain anywhere in the body. There's no medical symptoms and no medical evidence. So they believe that this is connected to something happening in the neural circuitry for a psychological cause. Another one is body dysmorphic disorder, and this is when individuals are preoccupied with an image or an exaggerated defect in personal appearance. So you're preoccupied with your body shape and structure. It exists, but maybe there is a blemish on your face, and you become so obsessed with this specific structure, and it may be there, but it's not as bad as the mind is making it make. So you avoid going to work or public situations because you're tied to this personal appearance. And then hypochondriacs or hypochondriosis is a disorder involving excessive worry about a health disease. Behavior is designed to avoid or check the physical illness. So this is where you believe you have some sort of physical illness or a disease. And when you go to the doctors, there is no signs or symptoms of this disorder. So you have a physiological arousal, you become worried, anxious, your body is you're closely monitoring your body. You hear about germs or you hear about a flu and you think you have the symptoms or you think you have the flu, and there is no symptoms to the flu. And it becomes obsessive when you hear about an illness and you think you essentially have that illness in on a daily basis or a weekly basis or a monthly basis. Behavior is designed to cause you to maybe miss work, miss your job because you're so connected or obsessed with this physical health or this disease.